Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States.
Mr. President, for 2 consecutive Labor Days, you visited in our training centers in Wisconsin and in Pennsylvania. And 2 years ago, you visited with us at our National Legislative Conference in Washington, D.C. And now you've traveled south to the Southwest Regional Council Training Center. And on behalf of my members, and especially on behalf of the 55,000 men and women of the Southwest Regional Council of Carpenters, I want to welcome you to Phoenix, Arizona.
Thank you, sir. Thank you all. Thanks a lot. Thank you all very much. I appreciate Doug McCarron's leadership in terms of making sure people have the skills necessary to work in the jobs of the 21st century. Actually, you look like you're dressed the way a president should be, and I'm dressed like a carpenter, which isn't all that bad a deal. I want to thank you for having me here. I appreciate Mike McCarron for opening up this facility. Thank you, Mike, for inviting us. He invited us here so we can have a discussion on job training skills and home ownership. Before we have the discussion, I do want to say a couple of things. First, I want to recognize some people in the audience. 2 great United States senators, John McCain and John Kyle, are with us. I don't know if you know this, Doug, but John McCain was telling me on the way over from the airport that he was here when they opened this facility. He told me, he said, you're going to find a magnificent training facility. He forgot to tell me how magnificent it is. This is quite a place, quite a place. I know you're proud of it. I appreciate members of the Congress who are here, J.D. Hayworth, John Shattuck, Jeff Flake, Trent Franks. Thank you all for coming. It's such an impressive place, they even brought old Ron Lewis from Kentucky, who's a member of the House, with us. Ron, thank you for being here. Glad you came. There he is. Mr. Mayor, Phil Gordon is with us. Thanks for coming, Mr. Mayor. I appreciate you being here. I want to thank members of the Carpenters Union who have opened up this beautiful facility to us. Thank you for working hard. Thank you for being responsible citizens who love your family and love your country. Most of all, I'm honored to be in your presence. Thanks for building the stage. Today when I landed, I met a lady named Barbara Lockwood. Barbara, where are you? There she is. Thanks for coming, Barbara. Barbara is a volunteer of Keep Phoenix Beautiful. The reason I bring that up is communities are really strong when people are willing to volunteer, willing to take time out of their lives to improve the community in which you live. There's all kinds of ways to do so. Keep Phoenix Beautiful is one such idea. Mentoring a child is an idea. Loving a neighbor like you'd like to be loved yourself is an idea on how to make sure your community is good. I know that many of your members work hard on their day job and volunteer to help somebody's life. See, America can change for the better one heart and one soul at a time. And the reason I want to bring up Barbara is that she sets such a good example by taking time out of her life to make Phoenix, Arizona a better place. Barbara, thank you for your service, and thank you for the example you have set for others. Almost ready. The housing industry is booming, which means more people own their home, and that's positive. It means more carpenters are working, and that's positive. It's an amazing statement to say that, given what this country has been through. We've been through a recession. We've been through an attack on America. And that attack on America affected us. We lost jobs after the attack on America. It also changed our way of thinking about how we look at the world. We used to think oceans could protect us. We were kind of sit back and see threats gather and could deal with them if we felt like it or ignore them if we wanted to, because oceans protected us. But that changed on September the 11th. We're doing everything we can to secure the homeland. I want to thank those who are involved with the first responders or our police and firefighters for working hard to be ready. But the best way to protect America's homeland is to stay on the offense and bring these people to justice before they hurt us again. Thank you. The nation is strong. We refuse to be intimidated by these killers. And we started to recover. And then we found out that some corporate citizens forgot what it meant to be responsible citizens. You know who I'm talking about. The people who didn't tell the truth to their shareholders and their employees. We passed tough new laws. I want to thank the members of the Senate who are here and the members of the congressional delegation for joining together to pass tough laws that sends this message. We're not going to tolerate dishonesty in the boardrooms of America. That dishonesty affected us. It was another hurdle we had to cross. It kind of shook the confidence of the people. And then we had another hurdle we had to cross. As I told you, September the 11th changed how we should view the world. We must deal with threats before they fully materialize. When we see a threat, we've got to deal with it. I looked at the intelligence in Iraq and I saw a threat. The Congress looked at the same intelligence and it saw a threat. The United Nations Security Council looked at the same intelligence and it saw a threat as well. We said to Saddam Hussein, everybody thinks you're a threat, so you disarm. We gave him yet another choice. It's his choice to make. We said disarm for the sake of freedom and peace. And he defied the world again. And therefore I had a choice to make. Do I trust the word of somebody who had used weapons of mass destruction on his own people? Do I trust the word of a madman? Or do I take actions necessary to defend America? Given that choice every time, I will defend this country. Thank you all. When you're marching to war to defend the country, it sends a negative signal. If you're a home buyer, it doesn't instill a lot of confidence in the future if you think your country's going to war. If you're somebody trying to build homes, marching to war is a negative thought, not a positive thought. Now we're marching to peace. The world is more peaceful. But these are hurdles we have overcome as a country. I mean, think about these statistics. We're the fastest growing major industrialized nation in the world. The unemployment rate right here in Arizona has gone from 5.9% last year to 5.2% this year. Inflation is low. Interest rates are low. Manufacturing activity is up. Now, this economy has gone through a lot. And you know why? Because the American workers and the American people and the American entrepreneurs are strong, steady, and resolute. I want to tell you another statistic, which is an amazing statistic given what we've been through. Housing starts in 2003 were the highest in a quarter of a century. Homeownership sales were the highest ever. 68% of homeownership, the homeownership rate is the highest ever. And that's fantastic news for America. We want more people owning their own home. There's nothing like saying, this home is my home. Nothing better than somebody open there and say, welcome to my home. And we're about to talk to some first-time homeowners, and I want to share their stories with you. And they're going to share their stories with me, and you're going to get to hear it. I do want to talk about a challenge for our country, and there is a minority homeownership gap in America. Not enough minorities own their own homes. And it seems like to me that it makes sense to encourage all to own homes. And so we've done some interesting things. Again, I want to thank the Congress. But we passed down payment assistance programs that'll help low-income folks buy their own home. A lot of times if you're trying to buy your own home, you never bought one, the down payment seems like a little much. Some of you know what I'm talking about. Seems to make sense. If one of the things we're trying to do is to get to close the minority homeownership gap and to get 5.5 million new minority homeowners into homes over the next 5 years, that we ought to help with down payments, and we have. The state of Arizona is going to have $2.6 million to help people with down payments. I propose that mortgages that have FHA backed insurance pay no down payment. That'll help 150,000 new homeowners. What we're trying to do is make it easier for somebody to own a home, and there's practical ways the government can help. We've got what's called HUD Section 8 programs that are generally rent programs. We've converted those rent programs to self-sufficiency programs where people are helped to be able to set aside money for down payments. We're about to hear somebody who's benefited from such program. We've got HUD's Home program that provides grants to states to help counseling. That's really important. Have you ever seen some of these contracts? There's a lot of fine print. And if you've never bought a home before, it kind of makes you nervous to sign up on something with a lot of fine print. There are counselors all over the state of Arizona who are willing to help people understand what it means to sign a contract, to understand what it means when they're buying their first home, what it means to be a homeowner, what the obligations are. I want to thank the counselors who are here. I want to thank the people here who work with first-time home buyers. We need to make sure that there's affordable houses around the country. That's why I proposed a $2.5 billion tax credit for rehabilitation of inner-city homes and for the building of affordable homes for low-income citizens. We want homes. We want people owning their own home. Ownership is an important part of the American experience. One other thing I've done is I've called on private sector mortgage banks and banks to be more aggressive about lending money to first-time home buyers, and the response has been really good. I mean, there's a lot of people in our communities around the country that deeply care about the issue of home ownership, and they've been responsive. Senators Kyle and McCain told me about a fellow named Jerry Bisgrove here in Arizona. He's not a part of a mortgage banking deal. He's just a decent citizen. But like the mortgage bankers who have helped first-time home owners, Bisgrove is a successful businessman, evidently, has turned back and said, I want to help people with affordable housing. It's that kind of effort at the federal level, effort at the charitable level, that's going to make a big difference in closing the minority home ownership gap. And when we do, America will be a better place. Is that ready? The thing I like about Doug is he understands that when you give somebody additional skills, it'll improve their lifestyle. You see, when a worker becomes more productive, that worker is going to make more money. And we're about to hear a story that verifies that point. Jorge? Anyway, not yet. Casi. But Doug is an innovative leader. And as he mentioned to you, I've had the honor of going to some of his training facilities around the country. And they're impressive. They're impressive because they're so humane. And they take a person who wants to work, give them a little additional help, and they become well paid, more able to do their duty as a mom or a dad. So, Doug, thanks. I appreciate you having me.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Okay, Jorge, you're first.
And Mr. President, it's really a privilege to have you here. And you've chosen the appropriate audience for your remarks. These union members are the men and women whose skills build the American dream every single day. Their skills build wealth. The schools, office buildings, factories, and homes are the very foundation of this nation. And those skills make it possible for them to earn a share of the wealth that they help create and enjoy a piece of the American dream, like home ownership. And I wish you could be here during the evenings or the weekends when the members come in and put their tools back on so they can learn new skills and become better, productive carpenters. I will tell you that there's nothing that makes me prouder of my union than to see these men and women, seeing them working, honing their skills in this training center and all the other training centers in the nation. They do it because they know that knowledge and skill are the keys to providing for their families. And, Mr. President, there's nothing more important than that. We built this center in partnership with our contractors to make sure that our members had the best training possible, because that's what they deserve and that's what our contractors expect. And we built it, Mr. President, and 180, just like it across the country, with our money, not the taxpayers' money.
That's good.
Mr. President, the men and women that I represent have shown that they are willing to work hard, they are willing to train hard, and they are willing to compete. Now, I know, Mr. President, over the next few months, you'll hear from advisors and pundits. But speaking for the Carpenters Union, let me tell you, the most important issue for us is jobs. And
Doug, let me say something.
Yeah. And Mr. President,
yeah, the most important issue for me is jobs.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And the one thing you can do to help us is urge Congress to pass a solid 6-year transportation bill. It's good policy, and it's a good investment in the infrastructure of our nation. And it's good jobs for all these men and women. Now, I know that the focus today is on housing. But for tradesmen and women, the jobs in that transportation bill are the road to home ownership and the American dream. And, Mr. President, I look forward to working with you, just like we did on the terrorist insurance bill that put hundreds of thousands of building tradesmen and women to work. That we can get this, we can get it in your office, and you can sign it, and we can put a lot of tradesmen and women to work.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you, Mr. President.
Yeah, thanks, Doug. Let me say, one of the things I forgot to mention to Doug and to congratulate Doug and the union on was the work at the World Trade Center after September the 11th. A lot of his members went to help clear the rubble. And they went in there and they worked long, long hours, and there was not one accident. They did an unbelievable job, and I want to thank you and thank
That's
the membership for that
good
work.
union labor, Mr. President.
Good job.
Good union labor.
All right. Jorge Sotello. Jorge is a family man, hard-working guy. Jorge, tell us about yourself.
Well, yeah, I'm a family man. I'm working for DPR Construction right now, and I'm being in this facility doing some training, framing, hanging, blueprints, and foremans. Now I'm a foreman for DPR Construction, and thanks to this facility, the training is excellent. I get a better life, better wages, and get a better home too right now.
Yeah, so in other words, let me make sure I understand. Before you came here, what were you doing?
I was doing the same thing, I was doing construction, but at less wages, I was doing
Yeah, you're
less
just out
money.
there working hard and less wages. And how did you hear about this facility?
They went to the place that we were working before, and they told us about the union, and they said, yeah, it's time for a change. I want to learn something. I want to better skills, for myself and get a better life for my family.
Yeah. And so let me ask you something, Jorge. Were you working during the day and coming here at school at night?
Yes.
And how long did it
work.
take for you to get the skills necessary to get another certification?
Depends, how many hours we got the programs for the 18 hours, 20 hours, depends on how many hours you can give me here.
And somebody told me, like this, you bought a home this year.
Yes.
First home?
Actually, it was the second home, but this is a better home now.
Better home?
Yes.
So you were
definitely.
upgraded?
Yeah, definitely.
The lesson is that you can improve your quality of life if you work hard, one, and two, you're willing to go back to school. I remember coming to Mesa Community College a while ago. Doug, I think you'll find this interesting. It's the same exact principle that you employ here. And I met a woman who had worked as a graphic design artist for 15 years, went back to a Mesa Community College technical training program, graduated, and got out, and in her first year, she made more money than she did after her 15th year as a graphic designer. She gained skills, she upgraded her ability to be a productive worker, and she improved her quality of life dramatically. And that's exactly what Jorge did, and that's one of the reasons why we're holding programs like this. If people are looking for work, you can find work in Phoenix, Arizona. And if you're really interested in improving yourself, you can do so by going to programs such as the one Doug sponsors here or at the one at Mesa Community College. Now, Emily is with us. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Emily McElhenney. How many homes have you owned in your life?
This is the first one.
Would you mind telling us your story?
We were at Mesa Community College at a homeownership fair where we were given information about Housing for Mesa, which is a program that helps first-time home buyers to reach their dreams. And we decided to follow through with that and learn more about the program. And they have a great education system where you can attend classes and they teach you about the whole process, because it was very overwhelming for us just learning how the process goes. And also, my husband is a teacher, and once we started our family, I decided that I wanted to stay home with our children, even though we knew that was going to mean a lot of sacrifices. But he's worked hard, and we still couldn't save up enough money for our down payment. And so Housing for Mesa, through their programs, were able to offer that to us.
Yeah. See, this is a story that's repeated all throughout the country. It's a family of 5, and they want their own home. They want a place to say, this is my home, the place where they raise their kids in their own home, and you had trouble with the down payment. Like you kind of looked at it and said, that might be a little too high for us. So what happened? You went to a HUD home program?
The Housing for Mesa was able to set us up with a realtor and a lender, and they gave us down payment assistance to help us through that. And then they walked us through every step of the program and explained all those contracts that we had to sign that you were mentioning earlier.
Slightly intimidating, aren't they?
Exactly, yes.
So we call the fine print.
That's right.
And they explained it all to you?
We had a counselor that was assigned specifically to us, and she, even before we went to the title agency to sign all the papers, She went over each of them with us because you can't read all of those in that short amount of time, and so we knew what we were signing when we got there.
See, that's a very important part of being a homeowner, is you got to help people understand what they're doing. I mean, there's an intimidating process. For some, it might seem like a natural process, but here's Emily. She was slightly intimidated by the size of the contract, and a good soul stepped up as a result of probably, I know federal money helped, probably state money as well, and provided a counseling service. Had the counseling service not been there, in all likelihood, I'm not predicting what you would have done, but I suspect it, you might like not done it.
That's correct. We wouldn't have.
Is a counselor here? No.
Yes, she is.
She is here? Where?
Edna McLaughlin is.
Oh, thank you.
here.
Thank you. Thank you for doing that. It must make you feel pretty good to know you've helped this family realize their dreams. Yeah. She said very good. Monica Mims is with us. Hi, Monica.
Hi.
All right. You own a home.
Yes, I do.
How many have you had?
This is my first home.
Tell us about yourself.
I'm a single parent, so I've been on Section 8, and Section 8 was letting me know that they were trying to do the first-time home buyers class. So what
Stop you right there for everybody to know. Section 8 is a rental program.
That's correct. So from Section 8, I went through family self-sufficiency. Basically what they do is help you pay, they're going to help you get your bills together, where if you're in debt, you want to get out of debt, and so that you're able to buy your own home. So I went through that, and I also went through Housing for Mesa. And it took me a little over 2 years and to get a home for me and my son.
And how's the son like living in his own home?
Oh, he loves it.
Where is he?
He's
oh,
right
there
there.
he is. Good-looking man. Hey.
Yeah.
Got his own room?
Yes.
Yeah, he's got his own room. Does he make his own bed?
Sometimes.
There's a proud grandmother there, too, I bet you.
Yes.
Hi, Mom. The Section 8 housing program was a rental program, and it was important to help people rent. But remember, we want people owning. That's what we want. The more people own their home, the more carpenters are going to be working. But more importantly, the more people own their home, the more satisfaction there will be in America, in the American experience. And so they took the Section 8 program, and what she just told you was they helped her, through Section 8 money, get the credit necessary and the planning necessary and the ability to buy her own place. Section 8 helps with the down payment a little bit too, didn't it?
Yes, they did. What they do is every time you pay your rent, they set a little money aside for you in an account. And that helped me with my down payment. My down payment was 3%. So as long as you also show that you can save your money, you know, you want to show that you can establish your credit, but you can also show that you can save some money also. So my down payment, it wasn't that bad, but I was kind of nervous about it.
Yeah. Fine print get you too?
Fine print got me. So I went through a lot of classes, the first-time home buyers class through Housing for Mesa, and I went through it twice so I can make sure I understood. And they also get you prepared to know what you're going to get yourself into, you know, that you're going to have to pay your water and the sewer and stuff like that when you're not used to doing that when you live in an apartment.
Right. Practical lessons. Maybe some help on budgeting and understanding what it meant to budget.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, I bet somebody's listening out there and wonders whether or not he or she can buy a home. I bet there's somebody saying, gosh, I don't think a home ownership is, even though I want a home, I'm not so sure I'm able to do so. I hope you hear the story of Monica and Emily. You know, these are people that had a dream, found help, and are now realizing their dreams. It's the greatness of America, you know that? Jorge, he's sitting here, he's got a family to raise, gets a little extra help, making more money, got him a second home, upgrading, family's better off. What we want is we want this dream to be extended to every neighborhood in America. We want people owning their own home. We want people getting the skills necessary to make a living. Doug, again, thanks for having us. It's an honor to be here. Doug said, you look a little antsy. Are you heading over to the ranch? So I'm not telling you, but I'll be fishing tomorrow. I'm honored to be here. God bless you all. God bless America. Thank you.